How do these not exist in Dragon Ball Legends already? Ultra banners. I feel really sorry for some of you guys starting Dragon Ball Legends anytime within the last 2 years. If you're 1 year in, that's even worse. And if you're starting today, bad news for you. If you've got a favorite character and they've already got an Ultra, that character is probably going to suck. But you still might want the character for collector's purposes, right? But well, there's not many Chrono Crystals to go around because you have to split them and put them in the right places. But the one character you want, you have to wait for the Ultra rerun. Then you're gonna miss what's new with the best looking animations you've ever seen in Dragon Ball Legends history. I'd hate having to summon an Ultra Super Gogeta, the first summonable Ultra, in 2025. But because of this, there's literally no way by the end of this year there shouldn't be an Ultra banner with multiple Ultras on that same banner. Like, I get it, right? Ultras are meant to be the highest rarity, so they don't want to just put them on the same banner because they'll be easily accessible and that decreases their value. But when there's as many as there is in Dragon Ball Legends currently, let me even count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 Ultras in Dragon Ball Legends. And we're going to get another one in the Festival 2025. Surely it's time to at least put some of the old ones on the same banner. They keep doing that resurgence thing at the end of the year when they bring back all the Ultra banners at the same time, so at least 3 at a time. But come on, man, there's a lot available in Dragon Ball Legends to the point where you could just put at least 3 on one banner, even if it's just the first 3, those being Ultra Super Gogeta, Kaioken Goku, and Ultra Super Vegito. They've already gone ahead and made Ultra Super Vegito free, so what's the hold up with this? Because I hate seeing Ultra Broly return. I'm not gonna lie, you didn't make him the best unit of all time on release when he was literally bodying all the Z fighters, and then on his platinum equipment, the timing of it plus the utility of him just wasn't valuable long term. So can we see Ultra banners with multiple Ultras on them, please? Thank you. Ultra legendary finishes. Now this might sound ungrateful, but I don't think it is. With the rate that they're pumping out Ultras, or rather with how many we have, it's not ridiculous to say the idea of an Ultra is becoming more and more stale by the day, especially when they're not coming with any new mechanics or anything that separates them from a valuable Legends Limited. I think when it comes to an Ultra, they need to get a lot right to make it actually feel a tier above the rest of the game. So not just being overpowered, but it should feel different from a Legends Limited. So the first things we point out is the ink art. When we first saw Ultras, the ink was so amazing, and not to say the Ultra ink arts have gotten worse, but not all of them are good. Some of them are pure laziness. 2 that we'll easily mention: Ultra Super Janemba. What were they doing there? He has one of the sickest animations in the whole of Dragon Ball, and they somehow managed to fumble his ink animation. And Ultra Kid Buu, for him it's not the ink art, it's the final art. I think his ink art is pretty good. It's not the best, but the final art is pure laziness in my opinion, and it's very apparent and voiced by the Dragon Ball Legends community. But I guess we can let those slide. It's only 2 that I mentioned. But when we get in game, what separates them from Legends Limiteds? There's a lot of cases where Legends Limiteds are doing literally better than the Ultras that we have. For example, they gave Ultra Hit a platinum equipment in the 7th anniversary, but Kaioken Goku in part 2 was literally dog walking him. So what was the point of that? And it's not like Kaioken Goku has anything new. Sure, he has the animations with the dynamic area battles, but that's about it. But Ultra Hit with a time skip unique mechanic is not even valuable in PvP. Literally just a part later. That's quite upsetting. So when units are releasing these Ultras and they're not doing anything more spectacular to put them above a Legends Limited, in terms of power and creativity, it's quite boring. Let me give you some examples. Half Corrupted Zamasu is just a reskinned Beast Gohan pretty much, and because he's more recent, he's gonna be more meta relevant. Full Power Frieza is also a partially reskinned Beast Gohan, but they just made it more cracked because you can combo the Death Beam, and he also has survivability and endurance. Ultra Kid Buu, mechanically I guess you could talk about his gauge, but he does nothing that was actually unfathomable. Ultra Broly, nothing there. You guys see the point. With the way they've built some of these kits, even if they did get an upgrade, Legends Limiteds can easily surpass them. So with all that being said, I think at least Ultra should offer what a Legends Limited offers, and then a step beyond, and that would be the ink art, making them the best in the game, a new mechanic, etc. This might be a niche thing, but for Legends Limiteds at least, right, you know how you go to the summons and you can see some people's ultimates, but once their banner leaves and if there isn't a banner available where you can see them, you can't see their legendary finishes anymore? That's pretty annoying. Sometimes I just want to see the legendary finish in game. You know, I want to open up the game and see the character's legendary finish. I don't want to go and do it on a bot. If their banner's there, then that's a lucky break, but I still have to find the banner they're on. You know, similar to how there's a story archive, I kind of just want to see the legendary finish of the character without owning the character. And the same goes for things like the ultra arts, etc. I don't really see what I'm getting until I get it, so maybe that's done intentionally, but I don't think so completely, because if their banner was in the summoning page, I can see it. So why withhold me just because the banner disappears? I would kind of like an archive that I could see at all times for the legendary finishes, the ultimate arts of ultras, or even just the art of the ultras, because if I don't have them, I can't ever see it, and that's a shame, to be honest. You don't get to see what you're gonna get before you get it. I'd rather just not use it, but you can still use it. There's the try button on the summons. But yeah, that's about it. I understand the accessibility factor of it, you know, for trying the character, but just seeing, like, I can't see with my own eyes if their banner's not there. That's dark, man. Can we get that in the game? This one's just weirdly questionable, and it doesn't mean they're not doing it, but what are they doing? So, you know, every couple months or something, usually right before or after a celebration, they will do this major ban wave of all the cheaters that exist in Dragon Ball Legends, right? If they're doing a major ban wave at one point, what are they doing the rest of the time? What's actually going on? What are they doing? Are they just sitting on their asses? The people are getting banned, the major cheaters, I'm sure, but does that mean they're intentionally letting people go under the radar, and only when their player count goes off, so around the celebration, do they actively work to make their PvP experience better? Am I crazy for thinking that? Because that's what it sounds like to me. If you have to do a major ban wave at one point, that means your security has to be lax more time around the clock. So that means their cheating detection just isn't up to scratch 24/7. So when the game isn't super hype, I'm having to deal with laggers, DC cheaters, and whatever the hell type of cheaters exist in ranked PvP, because they're not going out their way to actively stop them. So the overall playing experience the whole year round isn't good. Am I overthinking this? Maybe, I don't know, but I felt like it was something worth mentioning. Why is there just not a very good anti-cheat system for Dragon Ball Legends? I'm sure it costs, but this game makes a lot of money, and since they can do it sometimes, surely that means it's possible all the time. But you guys let me know what you think about that. I am open to opinions on this, but it's just something I thought about, because playing PvP and when you're fighting a laggy person is truly insufferable. Okay, the pity system in Dragon Ball Legends. I'm specifically talking about the ultra banners. I wouldn't really apply this for Legends limited banners, although it would be nice and other games do have it. I'm going to take Genshin Impact's system. So what they have is, when you summon on a banner, right, once you get to 90 pulls, you're guaranteed to get one of the featured characters, 100%. But obviously there's less valuable characters on the banner, so their whole format is slightly different. But if I was to put it into Legends terms, you spend 30,000 Chrono Crystals, right, and you're guaranteed to get one of the featured characters. Now, you spend 60,000, so you do it twice, and after the 60,000, you're 100% guaranteed to get the new character. Now, what's also good about Genshin Impact is that even if the banner disappears, that pity will carry over to the next banner. Now, if they did this for ultras, I think how they should go about it is transferring the pity from the same ultra banner to the same ultra banner, but when it returns in the future. So let's say I summoned on Ultra Super Vegito, right? I spent 30,000 and I didn't get Ultra Super Vegito on the 30,000. That means once I get to 60,000 at least, I'm guaranteed to get Ultra Super Vegito if I summon more on his banner when it returns. And I think if the pity maintains for certain ultra banners, since they're just going to keep returning the same ultra banners, you'd feel at least a bit better when it came to summoning on ultra banners, you know. It doesn't have to be like Genshin where they do the 30 then 60, but I feel like your pity should carry over for that specific ultra banner, especially considering now they've introduced pity, what we saw with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, where when you spend a certain amount, you're guaranteed to get him, but only for the first copy. In Genshin Impact, it happens over and over again, so it doesn't only mean for the first copy, but in Legends, even if it is the first copy, that would make everybody's experience in Dragon Ball Legends a lot better. At least you're guaranteed to get one copy after a certain amount, because some of the chrono crystals that people be spending, the amounts, is actually just ludicrous. And I feel like if there was that type of pity system where people knew they were guaranteed, people would be more willing to spend chrono crystals anyways, because they know they're gonna get the unit after an eventual amount of spending chrono crystals. Does that make sense? The pity system just needs to improve, but the fact that things don't carry over is nasty work. Because imagine you need to spend 40,000 for Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, the banner goes. So now it comes back, but the pity doesn't come back like they've already stated. It's a one-time thing. You have to make your way back up to 40,000, but this time there's no pity at 40,000. So you might even go beyond 40,000, and that's tough. You could have been 1k CC off and the banner left, and there was no more CC for you to get in the game. That's super rough, buddy. The pity system just needs to be better, obviously. That's unfortunately all I have for this video. There's actually a large amount of things that I could mention in this video, but I opted out of doing that because I could just be complaining about Dragon Ball Legends. For example, one thing I intentionally missed out is the 20k CC Chrono Crystal cap, but that would more so be me talking about things that they could just do to better the game. But there's some things I tried to go for slightly niche things that everybody's kind of experienced that should just be in the game, maybe more quality of life here and there, but definitely deserve to be spoken about. But let me know if there's anything you think I missed out. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name's Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.